I'm Israel. It's your brother Kadar Shahan here, coming at you with another quick lesson. First things first, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawahshi, Bahashem, Rakakadash, which in the ancient Hebrew tongues is the correct names of the Heavenly Father, His Son, and the Holy Spirit. I'd like to give double honors to my teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to send salutations out to the brothers pushing this truth all across the four winds in truth and sincerity. And I'd like to say shalom to the Akim and Aqua for studying to show they self-approved. Like I said, it's your brother Kadar Shahan here, coming at you with another just quick lesson and getting into prophecy. Cause we in a time where prophecy is jumping off the pages. Like every day, it seems like a prophecy or some prophecies are getting fulfilled. And I got a few precepts going into, some of the prophecies that's yet to come and some that's already passed, and just trying to get you to see, where we at in the times we're in, trying to blow the trumpet. But first, I'm gonna grab Revelation 19 and 10, and this is Revelations 19 and 10. And I fell at his feet and worshipped him. And he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am a fellow servant. Now this is John falling at the angel's feet, worshiping him, trying to worship the angel, because like, oh man, this power just came. This angel just came down, and man, I gotta praise him. The angel told him, "Nah, don't do that. Nah, don't worship me. I'm just a fellow servant, and of thy brother, and a fellow brother that have the testimony of Yahawahshi. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahawahshi is the spirit of prophecy." So if you're preaching this word, you should be going into prophecy. Like if you got the testimony and you speaking the words of the Lord, you should be speaking prophecy. That's what it's going into. And with some of the prophecies today that is yet to come, we still got, the Lord said He's gonna change our bodies, give us new bodies, spiritual power. You got the RFID microchip, which is a mark of the beast yet to come. The destruction of Esau, Edom. Oh man, World War III. Like it's like we in the midst. We seeing all this. We seeing the rumors of wars and all this. We living in those last days. We're living in those last days. We got to come back to our power, cause we got to come back to our power. Cause I want that new body, man. I'm tired of this old body. I'm tired of waking up subject to pain and subject to lust and vanity, and man, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of going to work and dying in the flesh every day. Every day something wrong. My leg hurt, my arm hurt, and your body just breaking down. I want that new body that the Lord promised, the Lord prophesied. He told us about earlier. Matter of fact, let me get that. That's 1 Corinthians, I believe. 1 Corinthians 15 and 50, if I'm not mistaken. What did it say? Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of Yahweh, neither does corruption inherit incorruption. So this fleshly body can't go into the kingdom of heaven. It can't make it on them chariots. Whenever you get beamed up in the Lord, if you're one of the hopeful elect and you get beamed up, the Lord can't take this flesh with him. He said we're going to change in the twinkling of an eye. But reading on, verse 51, behold, I swear you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. See, we're gonna be changed. We're gonna leave this wicked, corrupted flesh and change into a heavenly, spiritual body, man. A heavenly body, man. A celestial body. verse 52. In a moment, in a twinkling of an eye. So when the Lord come, when you hear that, let me read it. At the last trump, when the Lord come and all destruction is breaking loose, all hell breaking loose, and in the midst of World War III and the microchip going on, the Lord gonna come back, and at the last trump, He's gonna change us. He's gonna beam us up, take us out of that harmful, out of that environment. And while He's doing that, He's changing our body in the twinkling of an eye. He said, reading on, for the trump shall sound, and the dead shall rise up incorruptible, and and we shall be changed. Verse 53. For the corruptible must put on incorruption, and the mortal must put on immortality. So we ain't even them bodies that we gonna get. We ain't even gonna die no more. We're gonna be immortal. We're gonna be immortal, live forever. Verse 54. So when the corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and the mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass that saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. So, and that's to come. That's a prophecy. We're gonna get that. That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen, man. Death is gonna be swallowed up in victory. There's gonna be no more death for the Israelites, for the elect. It's gonna be no more death, man. Death. So that's one thing. That's one good thing to look forward to. You're gonna be immortal. You ain't gonna be in this wicked flesh no more, holding you back. You trying to work out, but then your body over there like, nah, you too tired to work out. You trying to diet and stuff. Oh man, shit. I'm trying to diet. Eat right. Then, you got your wicked flesh over here like, oh man, that cake over there looking good. Go grab it. And then like, it ain't gonna be none of that. It ain't gonna be. Oh man, I got plenty of more examples, but I think that was a little untasteful. That wasn't tasteful, so I ain't gonna say it. But yeah, man, that's a mean prophecy, and I can't wait till that happen, man. I can't wait, man. Cause we in those days, man. We in those days. The Lord said, what He said? Oh, we in them days where the Lord is like He visiting this earth. He's already here, actually. He's visiting this earth. He's over there giving people beautiful dreams and visions. And matter of fact, I'm gonna grab that. Let me get Joel 2 and 28, I believe. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your power, and none else, and my people shall never be diminished. 28. And it shall come to pass afterwards that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. He's going to pour it upon all flesh, not just the Israelites. He's going to pour it up on heathen nations too. Heathen nations, Esau, Edom, all that. He's going to pour out his upon all flesh, and your sons and daughters shall prophesy. Your old man shall dream dreams, and your young man shall see visions. So all flesh is going to be there. You can see that now. It's Edomites saying they got visions of the last days and seeing the microchip or being RFID chip being the planet. You got people saying having dreams and visions talking about they could see the destruction of this place. The Lord said it. Verse 29. And I also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days I will pour out my spirit. And the Lord is pouring out His spirit right now. You can see it, man. You can see it. You can see it. Shit. He pouring out on all flesh, but He's definitely showing His prophecies and everything to His servants, the prophets, the Israelites, the hopeful elect. And the Lord said that too. He said, in the land of our captivity, we will remember ourselves. And once we remember ourselves, we're going to do good, come back to the law, statutes, and commandments and, worship Him and teach this word and try to Wake up the lost sheep of Israel, the elect. Matter of fact, I'm gonna grab that. I'm gonna go to Baruch. Baruch, fine, I think it's Baruch. Yeah, Baruch 2:30. I was going into some of this in the camp today. This is Baruch 2:30. For I know that they will not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But it's in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. That means we're going to come out of all the bullshit. The Lord was going to pour His Spirit out in some type of way to make us remember ourselves that we were Israelites. We're not American. We're not black. We're not niggas. We're not spics. We're not Afro-Americans. We're Israelites. We're Hebrew Israelites. Verse 31, and shall know that I am the Lord, their power, for I will give them a heart and ears to hear. So the Lord gave us that ear to hear Him, so we can come up out of this, out of the world, so we can come back into the law, statute, commandments, and ultimately get salvation. Man. And we're gonna need salvation, man, because in the times to come, man, it's getting hectic out here, and we can see it. We can see it. It's getting real hectic, real hectic. It's getting real hectic out here. But Salak, yeah, Salakian, yeah, but we living in crazy times, man. There's uproars and stuff. You got this country is more divided than ever. You got Edomites going against their own Edomites. You got talking about the left and the right wing. Then you got the mask versus the non-maskers. You got the vaccine, the Maxine versus the non-maxers. And you gotta use them code words. You can't say it or they'll cut your channel off. But yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna grab that in Isaiah 19 and 2. Let me highlight it. Alright. And I will set Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight one. They shall fight everyone against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. Yeah, see? And that's division right there. The Lord also said, if the house is divided, how can it stand? And this country is divided, so it's going down. It can't stand. It got nothing to stand on. Like that's where we at. You see, that's where we at. Prophecy right now. A nice end time prophecy. Everybody's against each other. Egyptians against Egyptian, brother against brother, kingdom against kingdom. World War III is in the mix right now. It's brewing up. It's not in the mainstream media, but it matter of fact, let me see if I can find this article. Yeah, here we go. This article came out today. Matter of fact, let's see what's today. Yep, December 30th. It said Russians cutting edge nuclear submarine fires bro 4 intercontinental ballistic missiles. See, and that's prophecy right there, because the scriptures speak about arrows that's been shot from one end to the earth to the other, and a little arrow can't go that far. I'm gonna pull that. Arrow can't, no matter how strong a person is, he can't shoot an arrow from one continent to another, from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth, and this is what it's going into. What is that in modern day terms? That's these nuclear missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles, just like this the headline say. Let me go back to the scriptures. Okay, let me grab second edges. 16. And let's start at 2. See if this. All right, yeah. Let's start at 2. We're just gonna jump around. Gird up yourselves with cloth of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. So if you ain't in the right spirit, if you ain't got Yahawahshi, your destruction is at hand. Like, we are gonna end up facing Jacob's trouble, but like if you ain't a hopeful elect, if you ain't got the Lord, it's gonna be to your destruction. A sword is sharpened. A sword is sent unto you. A sword is sent unto you. Let me read what's there. A sword is sent unto you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? That fire is going into that nuclear missile fire. And the fire from the heavenly chariots when the Lord comes back. Plagues are sent unto you, and who may drive them away? Only person could drive them away is Yahawahshi, and the Lord said He ain't gonna do it. He gonna send that, and it's not gonna return back until it does what it set out to do. Let me jump down to 13. Going into them nuclear missiles, for strong is the right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows is shot. His arrow that he shooteth are sharp. That's them nuclear missiles, and shall not miss. Wherever whenever them missiles get shot to, it's gonna make it and hit its target. It's gonna go to its designation and hit its target. When they begin to be shot from one end, when it begins to shot unto the ends of the world, so it's gonna be shot from one side of the earth to the other side. That's what is it going into. Verse 14. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until there come upon the earth. So once them plagues are sent, it's no turning back. And them nuclear missiles, World War III is a plague. That's a plague from the Lord. And a pestilence. Verse 15. A fire is kindled, and who shall not be put out? A fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. And that's going into them missiles and the destruction of them. That fire. Verse 16, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer, returneth not backwards. So it ain't no stopping them arrows. Ain't no missile defense system or anything, America or any of these countries that the Lord got destined to be destroyed. Ain't no missile defense system going to stop that. It's just going to hit and destroy whatever the Lord sent it to. Reading on. Even so, plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famines and great death. So we're coming into a time where, like, we're entering those times. We're actually in here. It's going to get worse and worse. We're going to see death is going to be like seeing a blade of grass. It's just gonna be everywhere. Like, you go outside and look down, it's gonna be bodies everywhere. What's that song? Bodies on the floor, bodies on the floor. It's literally gonna be bodies on the floor. Reading on. The beginning of war and great power. The beginning of war and the power shall stand in fear. And you can see Esau Edom shaking in their boots now. They over there doing all kinds of things to get ready and prepare for what the Lord bring. That's what this what they call it, Space Force is about. They trying to fight the Lord when He come. They scared. The beginnings of evils, and what shall I do when these evils shall come? You better pray to the Lord and hope you elect of the nation of Israel, so you can be saved up out of it. That's what you can do. That's what you should do. Matter of fact, let me go to 15, because 2nd Ezra 15, because we right here. Woe to the world and them who dwell therein. For a sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and people shall stand up against another and swords in their hand. They doing that right now, man, protesting with guns. Then you got the police force over here fighting these protesters and people who is rising up against the government, and they got they guns out, they pepper guns and all they swords and stuff, and they beanbag guns, and they lethal weapon as well. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition amongst men, and invading one another. Like, people was just breaking into other people's houses just to get food. Not too long ago, I seen an article. They shall not regard their kings or princes, so they not gonna care about the government. They fighting against the government. Like, people over here rising up. They tired of the oppression that the government is pushing down on them, and it's definitely oppression, because if you go into the etymology of the word of government, it means mind control. They trying to control your mind. Govern means control, and ment is Latin for mind, goes back to mind. So government, they govern in your mind. They should not regard their kings or princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. That's them lockdowns. We already had a lockdown, and they already talking about ramping up, and there's a second lockdown coming, and the second lockdown gonna be worse than the first. In verse 18, for because the pride of the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. You can see these Edomites in 2/3 are afraid right now. They don't know what to do. They bugging out already, man. The men of the Lord is over here loving it. Because, like, we know it got to be destruction before the kingdom come. We want this to happen. We waiting for these prophecies to come. So the faster these prophecies is coming, the faster we getting up out of here. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but he shall destroy their house with the sword and spoil their goods, take their goods. Man, it's gonna be a time where shit, if you got some food and somebody hear you opening up a bag of chips or trying to open up a package of crackers, nigga, they gonna attack you. We're like, oh, they got food over there, nigga. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna get that bad because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Man, we in those times, it's getting hectic out here, man. It's gonna get hectic, especially before the time before and once they implement that mark of the beast chip, the RFID microchip, because it said you can't buy or sell without the mark of the beast. It's gonna get bad enough. It's gonna get so bad that they're gonna implement the mark of the beast as a solution for you to get food, and then people ain't gonna take it, and they still ain't gonna have food. So it's gonna be bad. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that. You ain't gonna be able to buy or sell with it. That's Revelations 13 and 15. And he that had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast shall both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast shall be killed. Verse 16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive the mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Ooh, so and that's that RFID microchip, man. It's the RFID microchip. That's the RFID microchip. Verse 17, and that no man may buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So if you don't got that mark of the beast, you ain't gonna buy or sell. You're gonna be hungry. You gotta depend totally on the Lord. You gotta have faith. And the Lord said his servant shall eat and his servant shall drink. So, and he also said, don't worry about it, because the fowls of the air, the birds, they don't have jobs. They don't, but yet but yet they eat every day. You know, They don't have a house, but yet they find some place to nest at every day. So you gotta have total faith in the Lord. You gotta look to nature sometime to get comfort. Is what that precept that I quoted was going into. But yeah, what's gonna happen once you get that chip though? You get that chip, man. It says it's gonna be a grievous sore that happens. I don't know if it's cancer or what, but this is Revelation 16 and 2. And the first went and poured out the vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the man which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image. So you're gonna get plagued. That mark of the beast chip gonna bust in you, or it's gonna be a cancerous sore, or something come up out of that chip that leaves a grievous sore on you. And a grievous sore is something that progresses worse. It won't get healed. It's gonna just get worse and worse. So, hey man, you damned if you do, damned if you do take that two ways, because you're gonna get destroyed by the Lord, and you're gonna get a grievous sword before you get destroyed by the Lord. So that's, man. And Esau Edom, boy, kind of coming up with that wickedness to make everybody take that in this new world order, man. I can't wait till he off the scene, man. I can't wait till he's off the scene. And that's a prophecy too. Esau, we ain't got to worry about Esau for too much longer. The Lord is going to destroy Esau Edom after a while. Like once World War III happened and the Lord comes and the mark of the beast is implemented, the Lord, once this place is destroyed, the Lord said He was going to send us down, and those who survive to be hiding in the clefts of the rocks and under the ground in their bunkers. The Lord is going to round them up and cast them into slavery. In 1,000 years of slavery, it's over with for them. The Lord is going to destroy them. According to Obadiah, Obadiah is an end-time prophecy of what happens to Esau Edom. Matter of fact, I'm going to grab Obadiah. One of the shortest chapters, but one of the most powerfulest chapters in the book. This is Obadiah. I'm going to just jump down to the main point. I'm going to get 17 and 18. I'm going to just get 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau as stubble. The Lord is going to use them as stubble. And they shall kindle them. We're going to burn them up, and it shall devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. The Lord said He's going to destroy Esau Edom, the only nation that does not promise any salvation, even after their 1,000 years of slavery. Because like all the other nations, are going to be in subjection too in the kingdom of heaven. They're going to be under subjection, getting ruled with a rod of iron, getting slaved, but they're going to do it. And the Lord said after that 1,000 years, after we get them a rigorous rule and teach them the law, statutes, and commandments, they can go back to their lands. Esau Edom going to get destroyed totally. Like straight, totally. And to believe it or not, you got people don't even teach this. People teach that Esau Edom can get saved and all this madness. Like that's adding and taking away from the book. You took away the part where it said Esau gonna get destroyed, and you adding that Esau Edom is the God loves everybody, when it clearly says in Romans and in Malachi that the Lord hate Esau Edom. He hate them. That's a prophecy too. False prophets. That's false prophets, man. Matter of fact, let's get that. That's Matthew 24 and 11. And many false prophets shall arise and shall deceive many. Ooh, and it's a lot of those. You got those false prophets in the Christian churches, those false teachers just teaching all kind of prosperity and not teaching Jacob's trouble and not teaching the whole word, taking away from the book. You got false prophet, which was in Israel, just teaching it ain't no such. The mark of the beast ain't the RFID microchip. It's a embargo. It's Christianity. It's sleeping with a white woman. Somebody said Mark of the beast is John 3:16. Like, what the hell? Excuse my French, man. Excuse me. But man, that's the Lord said false prophet was going to arise, and if the blind lead the blind, they are going to fall into a pit. So if you fall for that, man. But let's see what happens to them false prophets. Let's go to Revelations, man. Let's go to Revelations 22 and 10. 22 and 10. And he said unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecies of this book, for the time is at hand. Like, you got people teaching all kind of madness and sealing the prophecies, saying that the RFID ain't the ain't the mark of the beast, ain't no Jacob's trouble. You don't need to know the correct names of the Lord. You can call them Jesus and God, and you can call them what dude said. You can call them play yoga. What? Somebody said, man, that's blasphemy. They lead them false prophets. They leading their sheep astray. They gonna get all that blood on their up on them. The blood that they leading people, all the blood of the children of Israel that they leading to slaughter, it's gonna fall on them. Let me jump down to 18, because this is what the Lord said. For I testify unto every man that heareth the word of this prophecy of these books, if any man shall add unto these things, so if you add or take away from the book, Yahweh shall add unto him the plagues that are in this book. And there's a lot of plagues in this book. That's all kind of woe. That's all you can say is woe. Because you got the missiles, you got the grievous swords, the mark of the beast, you got the chariot fire, you got wild beasts changing their places, you got the sword of Esau, you got famines. Man, like the Lord said, he gonna give the plagues to them. All the plagues that's in this book to those who takes away and add on to the book. Man, you don't want that. You don't want that. But hey, that's prophecy for you. The Lord said He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. Hey, and with that, I would like to say, Call Lord Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahawashi, Bahashim, Makakwadash, Kwam Yasharala Wa Babu Ba, Shalom, Israel.